So can you tell us about guarding this offense of theirs? I know it's pretty unique.
I think it's going to be extremely challenging, for us to guard a team like this, especially this early in the year. That's why you play quality opponents. They really move the ball. When they do dribble the basketball, they're driving it. They're getting to the rim with it.
Mm-hmm.
They're forcing you to stop them. They're back cutting. They're spacing for threes. It'll be hard for us. This will be very difficult, not just for our bigger players. It'll be hard for all of our guys. And so we've tried our best to simulate how they cut and what they do, but there's no way you can get it at the speed and the efficiency that they have it. They're very well coached, and this is going to be a tough game for us.
Well, coming out of the exhibition game and not being happy defensively where you're at, but now you're going to face a team that does something completely off the rails.
Right.
I mean, how much do you, I guess, defensively can you get out of this game when you look deeper into this season?
Well, you're still, there's a lot of back cutting, a lot of things doing. That's different than like ball screen motion. You face so much ball screen motion. They very rarely ball screen. They're passing the basketball, they're cutting, they're diving behind you, they're curl cutting and rubbing off each other, and just trying to get your eyes to them or get your eyes to the ball. And you have to do a good job of having your head on a swivel and being able to see both. And but you just can't let them do what they want to do.
Right.
If they do, they're going to be efficient. It'll come down to hitting and missing if you let them do what they want to do. You got to make it hard. You got to do your best to really disrupt them. But it's a good question. I wish I had the answer. For us to be where we are defensively, I think a lot of people are in these positions. You're trying to grow. You're trying to get better. Right as you start to face other people, there is a part that's different than the way you play. And so how quick can you adjust to that? You'd like to think that you can, stick to your defensive principles and, you'd be all right. When you have discipline and you have experience and you're good in that area, that's what you can do when you're not as familiar with somebody. But when you're trying to build those principles and that discipline and you're in that stage, it makes it pretty tough because they end up finding the weakest link. They end up searching somebody out. Like they watch film too. They find out like who's susceptible to a back cut, who's susceptible to watch the ball on the weak side, who is an absent-minded professor. When I watch film, it's always on who's the absent-minded professor. You got 3 or 4 of them. I really enjoy running offensive things against you. If you have nobody, then you know it's going to be a long night. You have to fight for every basket.
Saying all that, what do you want to see from your team defensively, just from your own standpoint?
Just improvement. More awareness, like knowing what's going on. A lot of our mistakes other night was just, not containing the dribble, not paying attention on the weak side, just some basic fundamental defensive lapses. So just improvement in those areas.
Assess the offense from the Indianapolis game.
Excuse me?
Assess the offense from the Indianapolis game. What you liked, what you didn't like.
Yeah, we missed some shots early that were good shots. The one thing is when you go back is how many quality shots that you're getting. Our offense wasn't that bad. I think you get some eagerness at times to where you shoot the ball maybe a little quicker. I don't mind taking, quick shots when they're 5 feet from the basket or you're open at 3 and you're taking shots that you practice that you can get. Everybody is a little bit different in terms of how they kind of find themselves into the game. Find yourself into the game by defending and rebounding and sprinting, not by always shooting. But when you get guys that score the basketball, it's hard to kind of break that cycle for them to where it's like now you're going to do some things because you're pressing, because you haven't got your shot or you haven't got a look in a while. So, I didn't think our offense was bad. It was definitely ahead of our defense. But there's still a lot from details when you go back in terms of running plays and being an actor that we have to do better.
You stick with the same starters?
Yes.
Okay.
It seems like Caleb is kind of a plug-and-play sort of guy. And do you worry about him at all at this point, his inexperience, or is he just so steady that?
I worry about all of them. He's been steady in the first 2 games. There's still things that obviously, that he can improve on. But no, he's done a good job, and obviously he's made a couple shots too. I think that helps. The quicker he can learn to play off of people, the better he's going to do. He had to do it in the summer. he has to do it now. Just learning to kind of pick his spots and, get on the glass, knock down his open shots.